Okay, good morning, everyone, and hope you guys had an awesome week this weekend and got a chance to hang out and chill. Today is a very important week, FOMC and big tech earnings. Okay, so a lot of things, a lot of moving parts happening in this market, and be sure to ensure you know what's going on. So currently, we see SPX futures up around 8 points right now. It was around 10 points earlier, and market pretty much looks strong here. Okay. First order of business is that Chevron reported their earnings stronger. It's stronger than expected, and that is taking the oil sector up. Second thing is the US dollar is weak. Okay, so if you look pre-market, the US dollar is weak and is moving lower. And the other thing here is that we see tech stocks moving a little bit better here. Okay, so other than that, here we don't have any positions whatsoever that we're holding right now into this week. So we're pretty much on a clear slate. Not a lot of swings that we got here so far. Okay. So I just want to mention that the market sentiment report, we went over the details of this week and the key premiums you need to look out for. Okay. The weekly charting session video, if you haven't already watched it, it's available in the market sentiment channel. So please ensure that you get the opportunity to watch that whenever you can. Might be a little bit harder watching it now because we're going over the markets and stuff, but if you guys really watch that, definitely it'll be helpful for today. Okay, so stocks that we're seeing that are strong right now pre-market is LRCX, Google, Nvidia, NOW, and so forth. Okay, so those stocks are starting to move and they're starting to really get going here. The STX levels have been already published. So let's see if we can get to the level one bullish, which is at 45.60 for today. Okay, the gamma levels and everything are also available there at this time. Now, the most important earnings that's going to be coming up first is Microsoft. Okay, I mentioned this in the weekly charting session, but it's going to have three sectors it's going to affect, which is cloud, AI, such as Nvidia and all of that, semiconductors, and also the big techs. Okay, so like Google, Apple, and so forth. So a lot of stocks are riding off Microsoft earnings, and that's going to happen Tuesday. So if we don't break out of this SPX range that I gave you guys, okay, so if we look at this SPX, levels that I gave you guys, basically working in a 10-point range above every level. So starting from 45, 60, 70, and 80. If none of these levels get touched today, like the gamma levels don't really count, but if we don't see 45, 30, 45, 60 or whatnot, then the market's going to be pretty much chopped today, and it's going to be harder to play SPX or any other play for now. Okay, most likely if you do hold any swings, you're most likely going to have to wait. Now, personally, what I think is a good opportunity to, if we do get level one bearish early on at open, and we see a little bit of a dump because it's not so far away, 45.30 may be a good opportunity to get some calls to play back towards the upside here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be waiting on as a upside potential play, is wait for that 45.30 may have a little bit of resistance there, and then possibly pick back up if the market starts to run here. Okay, so gonna be looking out for that. And the reason why I like that is because it's level one bearish, so it does pose as a nice opportunity to get into that play. But once you get that 10-point pop, expect a little bit of a drop and possibly skyrocket. So if you guys are playing this, one way you can do it is take profits there and then scale back and then wait for the dip to get back in here. Okay, so watching to see that happen today here, okay? So remember, key inflection points here, gatekeepers to the downside and upside already established here. A lot of resistance on the downside here, okay? I've mentioned in the weekly charting report, if you guys haven't already watched it, but I mentioned that they put premiums a little expensive, so we might see basically a little bit of turbulence where we might see the market drop a little bit and then pick back up, but there's a lot of resistance, support at these specific levels. So it may be a good opportunity to jump into the calls for a quick trade at those specific times, okay? So I already spoke a lot about the NVIDIA and all of that during the weekly charting session here. All the levels that you need to know and watch out for is going to be in the analyst channel, okay? So that has the overall ranges that have been developed for you guys to look at, okay? So for this week here, so for Monday, we don't have a lot of stuff going on, just, some PMI numbers and so forth. We got the consumer confidence happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we got the FOMC decision happening as well. Okay, just keep in mind that Tuesday after market's going to be the Microsoft earnings, and that's going to move the market as we see here. Okay, so other than that, you just got to be patient. I do expect it to be a very chop market, so make sure you guys wait for those entries before striking and before moving. Okay, so one other thing that I want to go over some plays now. If I'm looking at the NVIDIA 460 calls, okay, so remember the range. I like them at around $3. Sorry, 2.8. I like them at for a potential swing. They closed at around 5 points, so $5 last week. Another play is LRCX. Okay, so LRCX is looking pretty strong right now. The only problem with LRCX is Taiwan guided down, okay, on their earnings. That's the only issue. So I would rather have NVIDIA, and based on the specific ranges that I gave you guys, the 460 call works at 2.8. So I will definitely mention that in the pre-market watch list details for now. The other stock that I'm really looking into right now is GS. It has a 20-point range set up for this week. Not really intrigued on forcing a huge trade here, but I'll be looking at it. Netflix, watch to see if the stock has any weakness today. I don't see any details of the news. I just have a source, but not sure how real it is. And the source, basically, I'm not sure if it's even reliable, but the overall situation is, when I looked at the gamma levels, it is possible that Netflix can see a 20% decline today. So, this week. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this stock here. It was at 430. Now it dropped a little bit here. So let's see what happens with this specific stock here. Okay. So there's not a lot of other stuff to report. Pretty much, strong support at 45.30. And if we get that right at open, that's going to be a nice way to play back the upside. Okay, so that's pretty much what we got going on right now. And I don't see anything else. Small caps do look weak with NASDAQ being the leader. The NASDAQ is the strongest sector compared to the overall S&P, and the Dow suggesting that techs are moving the market right now. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're looking at for now. Snow we're also watching as well for this week. Okay, guys, so that's all I got for now. Hope you guys enjoy the call. See you in the chat, and let's get that money.